Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 19th hole. We are live, and if you're lucky later, you'll be dead. I am here with Conor Coughlin. You smell like you have Irish blood, son. Are we doing the Worldwide Technologies Championship from Cabo San Lucas,
Yeah, we're going to Mexico, bro.
Mexico?
We'll use your accent all night.
I don't know how I can do it with these fangs on. These are glue-on fangs at the bougie Cape. Yeah, we got the 19th hole, Cabo. I gotta find the drop though, because I'm way out of sorts here.
We can just keep looking at you. You look good.
Like and subscribe in between media. Teen holes.
I can't take you serious, but you look too damn good to give you a hard time. So
It's a lot of fun to dress up for Halloween. I don't usually do this either.
I find that hard to believe.
I mean, I dress up for other holidays.
Just break out the vamp costume for random stuff. I am not as festive as you are, but you're making up for both of us, so it works.
Yeah. All right.
How excited are you for this golf tournament?
I'm more excited to eat a bunch of candy tonight.
So you're one of those that steals your kids' candy? Is that what's going on?
The reason is I'm going. Sorry, I'm messing with my audio here. Okay, so there's a dad tax, and when you become a dad, you'll be able to tax your kids whatever you want. But Halloween is dad tax at its highest, and I sent my wife a text. How high is gas? How high is dad tax going to be tonight? And I just sent her a picture of Mao Zedong.
Yeah, that checks. Is your neighborhood cool? Like, as you're cruising around, are they like other parents handing you shots and beers and stuff? I mean, is that
They're not that cool, but we're only like a block away from the best like candy bar selection. We walk a block over to the next neighborhood, and those are all the houses that are on the map that the kids have. Like all the best houses is right next to us, so we just walk right there. We take like a 30-minute loop, and her bag is full.
yeah? Well, you had to have those on the map, right? You got to go to where the full size candy bars, the cans of Coke, all that stuff. You got to know where they're at. I think we're going to save this for a thumbnail for this time next year.
Yes.
Well, with that, I know you're trying to get out with the kids, so we can jump right into it. I did want to call out though, uh, a lovely gentleman from Northern California. Shout out,
Shout out.
may have supplied me with a very delicious whiskey. So I will be sipping on this all night, and I took a sip as the show was loading, and it's delightful. Highly recommend the Redbreast 15. Redbreast in general, really, but
Redbreast 12 is one of my favorites.
a little Irish for Irishmen. So, cheers to you, and I've already started my defense of my title because I believe I beat you last week or week before, whenever the hell our last show was. So yeah, well, hopefully you have a better season so that you can be on the receiving end of this delightful liquid.
Oh, I took the fangs out and there's glue on my teeth, and that's even worse.
So, the Worldwide Technology Championship which is
WWT.
WWT is being held down in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. It is at El Cardonal at Diamante, which is a Tiger Woods team design. That was good. What's wrong with that?
Not bad, not bad. Not for you. That's good for you.
That's really good for me. It's hard to do. It's hard to do the Espanol living up here in the Great North. But no, yeah. So it's a Tiger Woods design. What's kind of cool about it is, and probably the only thing that's actually kind of cool about it is this is the first time that the PGA has used a Tiger Woods course on tour. So we'll see how
First
it
of
goes.
many, I hope.
Yeah, I think he's got some really good courses. I don't really know that this is one of them. This is this is very much a resort style course at its core. There is not a whole lot going on here, especially when the weather is tame, which it's going to be absolutely perfect down there, not a shred of wind. So yeah, essentially what you're looking at is what maybe could be loosely called like a new age link style course. It's very much wide open fairways, very, very fast. You don't have a ton of rough. You got a lot of native areas. Some people are calling it a beach. I would call it more of a native area.
It's not a barranca.
It is not a barranca, which we know I learned exactly what that was last year. But yeah, for those that care, it's par 72, 7,450 yards ish. You got past Palom greens, which we don't get a ton of.
No, yeah. Usually, if anything, it's blended with something else like Poana. So it's weird to get just a pure. How would you say it?
Past Palom.
Okay, I'll go with that. Because I was looking at it, I was like, I don't know the fuck kind of grass that is.
I'm trying to think. There's only a handful of courses that we see all year that have got it, and I can't come up with one off the top of my head. But
it's a blend, right? Usually a Poana blend with that.
Yeah, it's usually blended with something else. Part of the reason that it's strictly past Palom here is because this place only gets, I think it's less than 6 inches of moisture a year. So it's a very specific type of grass. Yeah, which I mean, yeah, it's paradise, but it's not exactly raining 24/7 or anything. So what's interesting about the green, the fairways, we'll start with the fairways. They're, I think the narrowest one, and this is saying something, is somewhere around 70 yards wide. So these things are massive.
Jesus, even Cam Young hit those.
That's we'll get to him. The green complexes are like bordering on about 30% larger than even the largest green complexes you're going to see throughout this season.
You weren't kidding when you said resort style golf.
Oh, this is fully like you and I could go down there, not play the tips, but I mean, you and I could go down there and we could actually post a good score on this course. This thing is not
straightforward. Tough. If you don't score well, it's on you here.
Yeah, I'd say if there's anything that I looked at with this place is it is a little bit long. So you are going to have some longer approaches, which I did look at. You know, I looked at 3-putt avoidance because anytime we talk about a longer approach, longer irons, your accuracy is going to taper off a little bit. So with
gigantic greens,
right? So, but I mean, dude, the greens there's bunkers, but they're mostly aesthetic. The bunkers that are on this course are in landing areas that are more geared towards the guy playing the blue tees, not playing the tips. So,
oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is bombs away as I said, just line it up and knock it down. And
holy crap, you're gonna make me bet on Luke List, aren't you?
He is on the list. He is on.
I knew it. I'm looking at this going, oh no way, this can't be happening. Yeah, but this is the one time a year where you think, hey, he might have a shot.
And he does. And you know, we'll hit the drop here in a second and get into it. But there are guys that like I weighted my model so heavy on distance because accuracy legit doesn't really matter.
It's all even.
So the longer the hitter, the shorter the iron in hand. I mean, those are the guys I'm kind of looking at this week. There's guys that you probably won't hear us recommend a whole lot of other times this year that are about to come up. So we can get into her.
All right, let's twirl some clubs, get right into the betting portion, courtesy of DraftKings Sportsbook. All right, top of the board, our guy Ludvig Aberg.
That's how we're pronouncing it this week.
Yeah, we're right this week. 9-1 for Ludvig. I like him. I don't love him. You and I are both seem to be on Cam Young at 11-1. That makes more sense to me because he's a bomber. Tee to green, he's spectacular. And just like our guy Luke List down the board a little bit farther, he can't putt to save his own life. It don't matter as long as you can two putt and then hit some close like he's prone to do. There's nothing standing in Cam Young's way of scoring crazy low scores here. And I'll kind of throw in Sahith Theegala too in the same boat at 16-1. Those two guys stand out to me because they have the exact type of game that we were just talking about, where they're long off the tee. They might not be the most accurate guys in the world, but this week it simply doesn't matter. And the putting woes don't really matter because they're flat greens. There's no peril anywhere. It's gorgeous outside, so there's like even if you had a bad shot, you'd be like, "Oh, but look at the sunset."
I'm going to take a leisurely stroll to my ball, which is somehow still on the fairway.
Yeah,
But no, with Aubert, I think the thing, and it was a bit of a narrative that I started talking about last week, and I'm going to keep kind of banging the drum. I think this is going to be a lot more forgiving of some of his approach woes, but I think the challenge with him is going to continue to be that you get him outside a short iron range, and his approach game tapers off substantially. So while I like him here, and I think he's going to put himself in some good spots to be hitting those shorter irons. And I definitely think that even his C plus game is better than 99% of this field. So I would still bet him. But yeah, I think it is something to kind of consider. If you're only going to bet one guy at the top, that would be maybe my knock against him. And then, with Cam Young, I think what's interesting about Cam Young is, especially on the back half of the season, he started kind of putting it together, and the putter can be streaky at times. But here, I don't know. I'm with Bo. I don't know how much the putter necessarily matters. You just want guys that are avoiding three putts here, and
all of these guys can putt.
Yeah, 100%. And I think with Cam Young, it's all dependent on how the iron play is, and with him averaging about 317 off the tee, I think we're going to see some short irons in his hand. So I really like how this sets up. And quite frankly, if he can't get right here, I don't know when he is going to get right. I mean, there's little or no penalty to missing the fairway. So I like where Cam Young is sitting.
I need to play more courses like this. All the courses I play on are narrow as hell.
Well, yeah, dude. And out here in the Great White North, we got trees every damn place, and you got sand traps that are made of concrete. I mean, it'd be nice to go down and play a resort course like this that I can just bomb away and not worry about shit.
Yeah. That sounds nice. So Young, Theegala, you're signing off on both of those guys?
Yeah, I'm less interested in Theegala than Young. And I'm probably out of the three, I'd go Young, Aberg, Theegala in that order.
All right. I kind of want a little bit of Emiliano Grillo this week. And then dropping down to Luke List at 40. Those are the guys that wrap up my top tier, I guess you could say, it up to 40 or less to 1.
I got some interest in the glove at 30-1.
Lucas Glover. He doesn't wear gloves.
That's true. The irony. No, I think it's hard to deny how good he was, like how good a form he had over the last. I mean, you can go back to June. And he really was very, very consistent. I did write him up, and I think the one thing that does worry me about him is it feels like everything kind of hinges on that putter. And for the last 6 months, that putter has been hot. But if that thing gets even a little cold, I mean, I think we see somebody that could win this tournament, be like somebody who's fighting to be in the top 20. So at 30-1 might be a hair short for the risk with him, because he's definitely live to like I said, fall out of the top 20. So, but assuming he stays with the form that he's been in, I don't know. I definitely see him being right in contention come Sunday. So,
completely agree.
Let's see. I've got some interest in Davis Thompson at 45-1 as well. Just another guy that kind of has had some form as of late. He rated out really well for me. And the primary reason, I think, is that off the tee game. and he avoids big numbers. Like he's actually in the top 20 in this field for bogey avoidance over the last 36 rounds. And not that that's as critical as other weeks because there's going to be plenty of scoring opportunities, but this is like a tournament where I think we could get in that 28 under range come Sunday. So like we aren't going to want guys giving many strokes back. So he makes birdies. He doesn't make bogeys. Driving stats line up with what this course is. So I do like some Davis Thompson at that number.
Completely agree. And shout out to Kelly, our former co-host, the fearless Kelly in Phoenix. Shout out to Kelly, good friend of mine. We were in this reality fantasy thing that she got knocked out last week, and there's this guy that's just a total asshole in the chat, and he was calling out everybody except for anybody like that would listen. He's like, "Oh, I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best." I was like, "I bet you're next." And sure as shit, he got knocked out next. So,
yeah. Hey, and Kelly's a good follow on golf stuff too. Kelly knows her stuff.
She got the chops.
Yes, ma'am.
I kind of want to pick her brain on this tournament too, because honestly, outside of like a half dozen guys, I don't know who the fuck I want to bet on, if anybody.
Yeah, I mean, there's some guys down here like Taylor Pendrith at 50 to 1. Good.
Oh, you're gonna skip over shout out NorCal perfect guy for this tournament, Cameron Champ.
So
I'm upset with you now because Cameron Champ can play on a resort course.
Straight up, but I like Cam Champ in DFS. I don't like Cam Champ to win this. I like Cam Champ to score plenty of points here.
I think Cam Champ can win.
I don't know, man. I like the problem with Cam Champ is he does some stuff good and then he does some stuff horribly, and it's very, very few and far between that he puts it all together, which is kind of why I like him for DFS. Is that
he's who they want Luke List to be.
Except Luke List can somehow putt now, and Cam Champ still can't.
That's true.
Yeah, no, but you can talk about Cam Champ if you want, but I don't disagree with you. He is a bomber. He does play resort course golf pretty damn well. I just don't
like Pendrith too, though. I was just giving you shit. Pendrith is a good pick.
Yeah, and with Pendrith, he's definitely more of a all or nothing type of bet. In his last 5 starts, he's got a second and a sixth, but he's also got 3 missed cuts. So like, you know what I mean? So he's got the win equity, but he's also very, very live to absolutely flush your cash. So he's a little higher risk, but in that 50 to 1 range, I mean, I think it's risk reflective. I definitely think you can do dumber things with money.
Oh, I did some of that today. Speaking of dumb things with money, I'm going to actually bet pretty heavy on Peter Quest at 80 to 1.
Yep, I like that one.
Yeah, friend of the show. We're not gonna not bet on Peter Quest in a tournament that rewards long driving and good wedge play or good mid iron play. Big flat greens. Peter Quest is going to be fine. Like I don't think he's played as well as we've hoped the last couple tournaments that we've put money on him, but he's still got the talent. We just need to see the results come from that talent, and this is a good opportunity to do that because this field is atrocious, honestly.
Yeah, I think with Peter Quest, I think the biggest thing going for him here is he doesn't really have any kind of penalty for not hitting the fairway. And I think a lot of the woes we've seen with him over the last few starts is that he bombs the hell out of the ball, but he's not particularly gifted at getting up and down from the rough, and he tends to be there. So
he's one with the trees too.
Yeah, and both those things are non-existent here. So I definitely think that we can see a high spot for him this week, 100%. But we skipped over an IBT family favorite. First start since going all the way back to the first week of June. Maverick McNeely is playing golf this week.
Shout out NorCal. The least enthusiastic shout out NorCal on the show is for Mav McNeely because what has he done in the last 2 years?
So I think one thing that I will always do is anytime we talk about resort style or California style, California coastal, any of those, Mav McNeely is a must bet, a must play because that's about the only time he shows up. And there's a lot of
parallels. California.
A lot of parallels here to some of the courses that he does play well at. And the one thing that's undeniable with Mav is you get a shorter iron in his hand, he gets exponentially better, which is typical of a lot of guys. But the thing that he complements it with, and really nobody can take away from him, is he is by far the best putter in this field. I mean, he rates
Yeah.
out
Oh
number
yeah.
one in putting
Yeah.
month on month
It's
on month.
it's
I mean,
crazy.
so assuming that he has even a decent approach game going this week, I mean, he's gonna make the putts. And so with no penalty for missing or being inaccurate off the tee, I think this sets up really good for a nice little like welcome back party for Mav. And
I
75
hope
to
you're
1. I mean, not bad.
I hope you're right, but I'm also going to throw in Hayden Buckley because 110 to 1 for his talent level. I'm willing to take a shot there.
Don't fuck me, Hayden Buckley.
Please don't Hayden fuck me. Like he's so good at it. Like it's the odds are way too long. Like he's too good of a golfer to get 110 to 1 in this field. Like he led the PGA Tour in scoring average if you take away Friday.
Yeah.
67.2 per round if you take away Fridays. If Friday was 74, which is really bad, but crazy that this guy can go out there and make that many birdies and just have one day where I mean it's Friday. He wants to clock out and he wants to turn up on a Friday night. Can't blame him.
I think what we need to do is somehow intercept him at a golf tournament and just block him from any sort of bar or like nightlife.
Maybe he just needs
Just
to
see how he
get
does.
to the bar on a Thursday night. Maybe he's too sober.
Maybe like a tin cup situation, just get him nice and tore up on like a Wednesday and just
Yeah. Snap all of his clubs except a 7-iron and watch him shoot a 69. Nice.
nice. No, I do have some interest in Buckley. I have some
After
interest.
that, I'm out in the betting side.
So I got two deeper ones, and they kind of make sense a little bit. Like Ryo Ishikawa, um, definitely we've seen popping up, especially on DP World Tour, and even in some of these swing season events. Like he's just a player that kind of lingers right there. He puts up good numbers, he makes birdies. Um, it's hard to pinpoint how he's going to play on this type of course, but at 180 to 1, he definitely is in decent form right now. So that's something to think about with him. And then the other guy that I like getting way, way down there, and honestly, it does in a lot of ways seem like a misprice, is Russell Knox at 250 to 1. That'll be my I've done dumber shit with $5 bet for the week. I mean, Russell
I
Knox is just
mean, it was
somebody.
just a few months ago that we took a shot on a 250 to 1 and absolutely fucking nailed it.
Well, and if you think about it with Russell Knox, like, yeah, he's not great off the tee, he's not long off the tee, et cetera, et cetera. But he is somebody who's really good on the approach, and he can get pretty hot with a putter. And he's just a class above the people down here at the bottom of this board. Like Russell Knox is somebody that I would bet way, way shorter at way tougher fields.
And
Pretty
he's from Scotland.
yeah, and I think that I would even be more interested in Russell Knox if we got a report that the wind is going to kick up in any segment of this tournament, because he's an excellent wind player, and he does have a lot of that coastal experience. And I think firm, fast, windy, like this place in future years may set up really, really nice for Russell Knox. I think he's live to compete here this year, but he is definitely somebody, if we get a better weather report saying it's going to be worse, that I would definitely run and throw a couple bucks at. So
What do you say we jump right into DFS and try not to slam some trunks, which we both did last time, but you came out the victor. Was that am I not right about that? Both of our lineups were bad.
yeah, I mean, I think we both had the winner, and I think I had the runner up, but the rest of it, not great.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. That was right. We were all over Morikawa. All over.
Yeah,
Like the whole show was, why are we even talking about other people when Morikawa was going to win? That's pretty impressive to say the least.
I don't think you and I have ever been more sure of anything than Colin Morikawa.
Or more right about something. like we've been pretty convinced that somebody's going to win, but we've never like outright throughout a whole show said it doesn't matter because Colin Morikawa is going to win, and he goes out and pretty much wins wire to wire. It was convincing 4th win out of 5 tournaments so far in the fall. So
we're doing okay.
pat yourself on the back, Connor. We're doing great. We're going to go 5 out of 6 this week, though.
Yeah, baby.
Right,
here we go.
no trunk slams. Let's do some DFS.
The club is well. This would be a wrestling class.
Well, Connor, this DFS slate is a mess. How are you going to build a lineup when 2 guys are going to get a heap of chalk and the rest is, I don't really know.
So what was actually surprising to me.
Our poor cat is dressed up like a lobster. Bring him over here.
Yeah, let's see this cat actually before we get too into this.
He's not very happy.
Oh no.
Turn him towards the camera here.
Oh my god.
Pissed. No, that cat's like, nah, I'm out. I'm out.
He's out. It's literally a cat that is very upset, and then you dressed him up as a lobster and made him even more upset.
Yeah, if I were dressed up like a lobster, I'd be pissed.
I think you'd pull it off a little bit better than our stupid cat.
Okay, I had a thought. So yeah, what I was actually surprised about is when I logged in to our database and kind of looked at some of the ownership projections. Surprisingly, the chalk is Theegala, which I thought,
that's such a bummer.
And like substantially, like right now we've got him trending to be somewhere around 31% rostered, and Cam Young is only coming at 20%, which I realize is also
bad.
kind of indicative of the form, right? Like he was rounding into form, but he had a lot of bad performances. But you know,
still, I mean, 20% in a field like this, I'm gonna hit that. I'm probably gonna double that.
Yeah, I think Cam Young is where I start. Like, I think I'll have some Aberg, but like Theegala, who I'm the least sold on to begin with, especially at 30%. Like, I can't do that. Like that in large fields. Like, there's just no way that I'm getting to 40, 50, 60% Theegala to like kind of
Yeah, I think I'd probably top out at 25, 30.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have a couple of FOMO lineups with him, but like I feel much more confident going closer to 30, 35% on Cam Young and just edging out the field in some of those lineups. So I think Cam Young's where I start. I'm very, very sold that he's going to possibly win this week. So I'm gonna carry that over to DFS. So that's where I'm starting. I'll have some Lucas Glover at 10-1 as well, and he's very, very low rostered. He's projecting about 5.6. So those are probably
Holy crap.
Yeah, those are my
excellent. I still feel bad for that stupid cat.
Well, as long as you don't boil it later, then
wouldn't have to change the boxes often.
That is horrible. We're probably we're getting canceled.
Pretty dark.
We're getting canceled. Don't tweet that.
No. All right. I'm trying to pull. Damn it, DraftKings. Why did he crash on me? Sorry about this. Who's your next guy in?
So in the 9s, I think he's not somebody that I like to play. He's not even somebody I necessarily believe in, but you can't deny.
What a lead in.
Well,
I hate this guy's guts. I'll never play him again, but today is the day.
Today is Bo Hostler Day.
Oh no.
So with Bo Hostler, I think he's another guy that is gonna, not only is he in good form, but he's gonna benefit from the lack of accuracy needed here. Those are his shortcomings. Like he's not terribly accurate in any department, and it's not going to hurt him this week. So a guy that's in good form when accuracy does matter. Now it doesn't. I can definitely see Bo Hostler continuing to roll a bit. JJ Spawn is somebody that I like, especially in swing season, lesser field events.
Scores birdies.
Yeah, and he's somebody who is consistently accurate. Not again that it matters here, but it's not going to hurt you either. So just kind of a steady Eddie. I don't love the price tag on him though. JJ Spawn at 9,400 seems aggressive, but it could be a good leverage move for people. So JJ Spawn would be somebody else in the 9s that I would take a look at.
All right, then.
Anybody on your end?
8s, yeah, I'm getting down to. I like Dietrich a little bit. I talked about Grillo. Grillo's not playing well. DFS wise, I'm like he could run into one. Like that's why the betting odds kind of appeal to me because he's getting short odds because he's played like crap this fall. But the DFS points haven't been there for him, so I'll go down to Dietrich, who's averaging 70 points this season so far at 96, and then pretty much dropping down to the 8s after that because I don't want any part of uh, Chris Kirk in this format. Batia, this course doesn't fit Batia very well.
I agree. I don't get the Batia love, and he's trending at 22%.
It's because it's popular. I mean, I get it. It's popular. Not unless you're like us that are just total nerds for this stuff. He's one of the very, very few recognizable household names in this field, so I get it. But he's not a great fit for this course, and we could be wrong. But I think we're right in looking at different styles of players that are better at mid iron play. Like he's a good wedge player, but it's not there for him in DFS for me. Cam Champ at 7,800, but I'm going to get ahead of myself.
You skipped right over Luke List. Luke List in there at 9 flat. I definitely am going to have some Luke List. Luke List objectively in the 9s is probably one of my more favorite plays. He's just projected to be just sub 20, so somewhere between.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, it's probably close to 18% is what it's going to land at, but I think this place sets up really, really well for Luke List. I don't know that I'm as sold that he's going to win the tournament, but I definitely think he's going to score you plenty of DFS points. So,
yeah,
don't leave him out of your pool. I don't think.
No, definitely not. I'm building a lineup right now with just bombers, like bombers. That's all I want in this one lineup, and it might be the lineup that faces you. I haven't decided yet.
So here's one that I know you and I were very, very aligned on, and I don't know why I have a feeling about this, but Keith Mitchell, 8,800.
Cashmere Keith.
Nothing matters, and Keith can hit the ball.
Sure can. He's a lead off the tee.
So 2.2 projected rostership, $8,800. I think I'm going to fire up Keith Mitchell this week, like at least in some lineup.
Yeah. Like I think he'll. If I was going to make a pool because this is not a 150 max type tournament that I'll be playing. Like I'm going to keep it to 20 lineups this week, and he's not going to make my 20 lineup 25 man pool, honestly. But he's right on the borderline of that. So if I was going to expand and get crazy and make 150 lineups, he would be in that pool because I would expand it 35, 40 guys and let it rip. But
he's just so elite off the tee, though. I mean,
he's been playing like dog shit this season. Like it's been bad.
Yeah, but would you be now? Granted, he's not making cuts, so that helps this stat. But he's number 10 in this field for bogey avoidance over the last 36 rounds. Is that
bogey avoidance at a place that's not going to see very many bogeys? I can't wait.
But he's number 8 for strokes gained off the tee because he smashes the piss out of the ball, and there's no repercussion for missing the fairway. And the greens are extra large. I don't know, man. This seems like a good spot for Keith Mitchell.
All right, I got my lineup. Oh, it's gonna be good.
Got anybody in the 8s that you're looking at?
Actually, no. I went straight down to Luke to Cam Champ at 7,800.
So Taylor Pendrith at 8K is the last guy I'll mention.
Yeah.
Well, so the reasons to
like not love.
Okay, one really good reason to like him is he's in the top 20 for all the driving metrics, which is good for a guy that is also number 1 in the key proximity from 150 to 175. So there isn't anybody better in this field from that approach distance, and his driving stats are adequate enough to hang. So I think this is, again, he's a win it or lose it, but I think he's worth a roll, and he scores some DK points. So I like Taylor Pendrith a lot at 8K.
Oh, this is not going to end well, Addison. She's attempting to put a vampire cape on our other cat.
Maybe she should put it on Lobster Cat. Maybe that'll improve its mood.
No, Lobster Cat's hiding by now. For good reason.
Lobster Cat is shell-shocked.
It's not that bad.
All right, you got to put her back on camera now. Pick her up and bring her over.
We're getting another cat cameo. Incoming.
Yeah, cat cameo. This is Vampire Cat. She is less thrilled, but also less angry. Over here.
That cat at least.
She might attack at any moment.
Oh, you
See, that cat looks happier.
Yeah, I don't know how to tie things.
Yeah, look how happy.
She's more tolerant. Ow! Thank you for the claws. Thank you.
Hey, at least they were claws and not pinchers. Lobster Cat would mess you up.
Lobster Cat would pinch something off.
So 7K.
Poor Lobster Cat is right, Kelly. I feel bad for those animals. Not the peacock hat. She doesn't want that. We have way too many pet costumes.
We used to, but my dog's gotten old and fat, so nothing fits now. So now he just moves around the house.
That was his plan all along. He was giving you the long game.
Yeah, he's like, the hell with you assholes. Dress me up. I'll show you.
Hello, Dee. Welcome to the 19th hole.
This is the best show. The Halloween edition. So one thing that you should always do is bet on Lobster Cat. Lobster Cat will not go quietly into the night. Will not go without a fight. Bet on Lobster Cat.
Fights. He's mean too. Like when he was like 2 months old, we just got him. He took an entire burrito still in the wrapper and was trying to drag it off of the table. And then when we tried to stop him, he growled. He's like, he weighed less than the burrito and he growled because he was trying to steal it.
Minus the weighing less than it. That sounds more like a you story that you've now kind of projected onto the cat.
Ain't nobody trying to steal a burrito from me. They already know.
Here's Bo just growling at people trying to take his burrito.
I don't know why I would even need to growl. You should be smarter than that.
Just gnaw your hand off. 7K. We got a few guys in here that I like. Callum Tarrant, I know, is somebody you hate when I bring up, but Callum Tarrant is playing really well. I think that's
is he Callum tearing it up?
He is Callum tearing it up. But he rated out the way I weighted this model. He actually rated out first for me, so I'll have some shares for him of him rather. 7,600 I think is actually a pretty good value for what he's been doing lately. Mav at 7,500. I'm going to gamble a little on that. You don't have to have a lot of Mav lineups to kind of be a little different. And then getting down there, outside of Peter Quest, who I think we both like.
Buckley.
Yeah, Buckley is in there. Grayson Sig is really good from the proximity range.
Grayson Sieg.
Wee.
He looks cool out behind the 7-Eleven.
Do you think he's a cool guy or a Marlboro man?
He's probably a camel dragger.
Ooh. But maybe those like designer camels. Like he's
definitely not menthol cool.
He's like rocking Turkish Royals or something.
Yeah. Probably those long skinny 99s or something.
Just a Virginia Slim guy.
Jenny Slims. Connor's dressed up as the neighborhood drunk.
And I am rounding into form into that costume.
He just rolled out of bed that way.
Well, we are officially off the rails.
We never were on the rails, bro.
Brandon Wu, another guy at 7,300 that we should probably
shout out NorCal.
Not our favorite rapper of all time, like Dylon, but Brandon also.
He's from NorCal. Brandon Wu from NorCal.
So we like him. Number 3 in this field from the key proximity range. So we could get down with some Brandon Wu. Outside of that, it's pretty slim pickings down here.
Knox 67.
That's about Knox. Everybody kind of poked fun at my Ryan Moore call a couple weeks ago, but guess who showed up and showed out? Ryan Moore.
Yeah.
You've
been making some crazy calls. I'll throw out my fellow lefty here, Cody Gribble. I mean, just to say his name.
He's a late ad too. I think he just got added this morning.
Is this Cody? Hey Cody, can you come down to Cabo San Lucas for the week? Okay, yeah, you're already here. You were just hoping for the call.
He's like, well, the nice thing is if he didn't get the call to play, he was just going to caddy for somebody. So he was
he
ready.
was going to be drinking margaritas, watching it on the Golf Channel in the lounge.
Hey, it's an all-inclusive deal. You just post
Oh
up.
yeah.
But yeah, I would honestly say the talent in the 6K is actually not bad. Russell Knox, Carson Young, Ryo Ishikawa is down here at 6,700. I almost like some of these 6K plays better than the 7K, to be honest. Some of these guys are kind of, in my opinion, underpriced. So,
yeah.
Justin Lauer is another guy at 6,800. Excellent from the approach.
You love Lauer, don't you?
I do, but when he rates out number 8 in the field for the proximity that we're looking at, I mean, that's not a bad thing. And he's been doing okay too. So these guys are not rock stars, but these are guys that can round out your lineup pretty good. He happens to be one of them.
All right. I need you to weigh in on the last guy tonight. Way down at the bottom, 6K flat, your PGA top 5 runner up, Michael Block. What do you think Blocky's doing down here?
What do I think he's doing? I think he's probably a case of beer deep and just hoping he makes his tee time, but he's a cool guy. I mean, 6K, I'd throw a couple bucks around it, but
I'd love to play around with that dude.
I think he's a salt of the earth type of guy, but yeah, I mean,
oh yeah.
I think we had a fluke out of Mr. Michael Block, and I don't know.
I mean, yes and no. Like he at his level, like at PGA teaching professional level, he's the class of that. Like he wins all kinds of tournaments at that level. Fluke as in at the PGA Tour level where it was a major and he was just there because he's the best teaching pro. Yeah, that was the fluky part, but the dude can really play golf and he's so streaky. Like this guy has a 58 on his resume at a very reputable course. This guy can get hot, and this is the kind of place where you get a weird guy get hot, and what's going to stop him? 6K. I'm going to throw some lineups with Michael Block in there too if I need to spend a minimum price. I don't think that'll happen too often, but that seems like a lot of fun. I want to root for the guy.
Yeah, I think he's like my Lexi Thompson pick a couple weeks ago, right? Like,
yes, very similar.
Absolutely can compete. There was
Except
no doubt.
I think Lexi would take him to task.
Oh, 100%. And I had myself absolutely bought, sold, and convinced that Lexi was gonna really, really like make the cut and be in the mix. And
she was damn close.
Yeah, she was. And so, I mean, Michael Block is similar in that like the skill is there. It's just a matter of what version shows up. It's 6 flat. I mean, 6 flat. It's worth taking a couple shots at. It's definitely worth. There's I've done dumber shit with $5 bet that you can go make.
You could do it for a fucking $1 at that rate.
Yeah, I mean, go grab a Michael Block number because I do like the story and I do like the man and I do think he's a talented golfer. But yeah, I mean, you only need 1 or 2 lineups to get there. With
in this field, he's not as far behind.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, he's the fundamental issue with him is he hits the ball very short. I mean, he averages about 270 yards off the tee. So that's probably the knock on him is that he does have a harder time keeping up on a longer course. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. It's probably a $5 outright if I do anything.
$5 foot long, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. But other than that, who you got for first round leader?
I really don't know. Let's see. Let's go with the easy one. I'll go Cam Young. I think he's going to be the class of this field.
Yeah, 2,800. I've got Cam Young too, but I'll go a little weirder just to show how much I believe that he can win this and can go wire to wire. I like Taylor Pendrith at plus 6,000.
Oh, you're just kissing Canada's ass at this point. Good Lord. You're as loony as they are, just a couple miles south.
They're 70% of our viewership. I gotta.
That's true. Be nice to the Canadians; they need it.
But no, for real, I like him, and like I said, he's an all or nothing guy. So if he plays well, he's going to be vying to win this. And I think 60-1 is good. Aberg at 22-1, first round leader, I think is an excellent bet to make too. So I wouldn't be afraid to do that. And like I said, I think this thing gets probably somewhere in the vicinity of 28 under. I really do. I think this is going to be an incredibly easy course.
Yeah, I actually think it's gonna be 31, and I think my guy from NorCal, Cameron Champ, is gonna win it.
I am gonna stick with my guns. I'm gonna say Cam Young. Cam Young has a nice bounce back here. Cam Young wins this thing.
Yeah, I could see that. He's my favorite bet at the top of the board. So, Battle of the Cams. One's from upstate New York, the other one from Sacramento, California. You be the judge. Neither one of them can putt. Is Connor not dressed up because he got too old and fat for his costume like your dog? Burn, Lisa Hatzenbeller. Coming with the fire.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. Lisa wears a costume every day.
Oh, dang. With that, let's sign out.
I love Lisa. Lisa's a good friend of mine.
Oh, he's like your neighbor in Sioux Falls.
Well, there's only 4 of us that live here, so it's pretty.
I know, that's what I said. Everybody in Sioux Falls is a neighbor.
No, happy Halloween, everybody. Thanks for enduring the hijinks. Go win some money. Dissect everything we just said because I believe what we're on is called a streak. So there's probably the winner somewhere in our rambling.
Bring your green hat.
Going streaking through the quad.
Everyone's doing it.
KFC still
all
open?
Right. Make sure you subscribe to the page In Between Media. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. I believe we have a couple tournaments in a row before the 2-month layoff before the Century Tournament of Champions in Hawaii. Oh, man, I hit the wrong button again. Jesus.